You know that feeling? You look at your backyard, or maybe just your patio, and you think, I want to grow my own food, but there's just no room. You see those sprawling garden beds in magazines and think it's impossible. What if I told you that one of the most satisfying, most bountiful crops you can grow doesn't need a garden bed at all? In fact, it thrives in the very space you thought was useless. We're talking about potatoes, the humble spud. But here's the problem. Traditionally, growing potatoes means dedicating a huge patch of soil, dealing with backbreaking digging, and still risking a disappointing harvest. For anyone with limited space, a small yard, a balcony, or just a sunny corner, that classic method is completely off the table. It feels like homegrown potatoes are a luxury you simply can't afford. But what if you could harvest pounds of fresh, delicious potatoes from a container no bigger than a grocery bag? What if you could literally grow your dinner in a bag on your doorstep? This isn't just a gardening hack. It's a complete game changer for food security and self-sufficiency in small spaces. By the end of this, you'll see that empty corner in a whole new light, and you'll be ready to grow more potatoes than you know what to do with. Let's get started. So, let's turn that empty corner into a potato factory. The method is beautifully simple. We're going to grow potatoes vertically in containers. And the best part is you can use special grow bags, or even old compost bags, or sturdy grocery sacks. The principle is the same. You're not planting in the ground, you're building a tower of food. First, you need your seed. Don't use potatoes from the grocery store. They're often treated to prevent sprouting. Get certified seed potatoes from a garden center. A day or two before planting, you can chit them. That just means setting them in an egg carton in a bright, cool spot to encourage little sprouts. It gives them a head start. Now, for your bag. Make sure it has drainage holes. If it doesn't, take a pair of scissors and poke several in the bottom. Then, add your first layer of growing medium. You don't need pure, expensive soil. A mix is perfect. I start with about 4 to 6 inches of a 50-50 blend of good potting mix and compost. The compost is key. It feeds the potatoes as they grow. Moisten this mix so it's like a damp sponge, not soggy. Take your seed potatoes. If they're large, you can cut them into pieces, making sure each piece has at least 2 or 3 eyes, those little dimples where sprouts form. Let the cut pieces dry for a day to form a callus. Then, place them on top of that first soil layer, sprouts facing up. For a standard 10-gallon grow bag, you can start with 3 or 4 seed pieces. Space them out evenly. Here's the magic step. Cover them with just another 3 to 4 inches of your soil mix. Water them in gently. Now, you place the bag in the sunniest spot you have. Potatoes need at least 6 hours of direct sun. And then, you wait. But not for long. In about 2 to 3 weeks, you'll see green shoots pushing through the soil. When those stems are about 8 inches tall, it's time for the single most important technique, hilling. This is how we solve the space problem and maximize yield. You simply add more of your soil mix, covering about half to 2/3 of the new stems, leaving just the leafy tops exposed. This forces the plant to send out new underground stems, called stolons, where the potatoes will form. Every time you hill, you're creating a new layer of potential potatoes. You'll repeat this process every couple of weeks until your bag is nearly full. That's it. You're not using more ground space, you're using airspace. For watering, keep the soil consistently moist but never waterlogged. Stick your finger in a couple of inches. If it's dry, it's time to water. The bag will dry out faster than the ground, so check it regularly, especially as the summer heat comes. In about 10 to 12 weeks, you'll get your first reward. The plants will flower, a lovely sign. You can carefully rummage around the edges of the soil to steal a few new potatoes for dinner. For the main harvest, you wait until the plant's foliage turns yellow and dies back. Then, the best moment. You simply tip the bag over onto a tarp. No digging, no backache. You just sift through the soil and collect your bounty. From one bag, you can easily harvest 5 to 10 pounds of potatoes. This method takes the traditional problem, the need for vast, dug-over earth, and turns it on its head. You control the environment, you save your back, and you turn a square foot of patio into a prolific self-contained garden bed. But this isn't really about potatoes, or even about bags. It's about a fundamental shift in how you see your space and your potential. For so long, the idea of growing your own food was tied to having land, to grand plans, and major commitments. What the potato bag proves is that self-sufficiency isn't an all-or-nothing proposition. It's a series of small, smart choices that add up to real resilience. Every time you hill up that soil, you're not just burying a stem. You're building a layer of independence. You're proving that abundance isn't about how much ground you own, but about how creatively you use what you have. That bag on your patio is a quiet revolution. It's a statement that you can take a direct, tangible role in feeding yourself, starting with something as simple and profound as a potato. This is the heart of the self-sufficient mindset, seeing potential where others see lack and taking action where others see impossibility. You don't need to transform your entire life overnight. You just need to start with one bag, one seed potato, one season. That single act changes everything. It connects you to a cycle of growth and harvest that is both ancient and urgently modern. So here is your call to action. Don't put it on a someday list. This weekend, find a bag, get a seed potato, mix some soil. Take that first, simple step. In a few months, when you tip that bag over and see your own clean, perfect potatoes spilling out, you'll understand. You won't just have grown food, you'll have grown confidence. And that changes everything. Start today. Your potato factory is waiting.